Coming off the Raw exclusive pay-per-view Payback, we do see some payback in several fashions, including finding out who the true face of America is on SmackDown Live. Who is it? We're going to cover all this and much, much more on this week's edition of the SmackDown Rebound. Hello everybody, my name is Conor, aka OKayFabe, your official SmackDown video correspondent for OneWrestling.com, and of course, One Wrestling Video. Thank you guys for tuning back into another fantastic edition of the SmackDown Rebound, where of course we're going to cover everything that took place from this week's SmackDown Live, of course, May 2nd, 2017. We thank you guys for tuning back in and watching us right here, right meow, wherever you guys are watching and listening to us from. And of course, guys, we encourage you guys to let us know what you guys thought of this week's SmackDown Live as well by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure you also follow myself and the entire OneWrestling.com family over on social media. You can follow myself at OKayFabe. Check out my own YouTube channel as well, too. You can follow Big Slam Nation, the awesome people over at Big Slam Nation. We've got Billy Ray, Valentine, the Professor, PW Hustle, A-Track Brown, all the people over at Sunday Segue, of course, Big Ray. And of course, who could forget the legendary, the iconic one himself, Mr. Bill Apter at After One Wrestling. Follow everyone down. All the links will be provided in the description box below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you guys like the SmackDown Rebounds. And of course, subscribe for more awesome content from all of us right here at One Wrestling Video. Now, heading into SmackDown Live, we had a lot of interesting things happen, a lot of interesting things going on. We had a crazy amount of matches and a lot of fallout from Payback. The show basically kicked off with Shane McMahon introducing the newest member of the SmackDown Live roster. We're talking about Chris Jericho. Drink it in, man. I'm sorry, it's the show of Jericho. Smack it down, man. I don't know if I really want to smack it down, but listen, I don't want to argue with Jericho, especially with that that lovely scarf he wears. Anyway, Shane reminds Jericho that he'll be defending the championship later on tonight against Kevin Owens when actually AJ Styles shows up. They exchange some heated words back and forth with their history, where basically AJ Styles implies that Chris Jericho doesn't have what it takes to defeat Kevin Owens. And just before Jericho could add him to the list, the true face of America, couldn't he be any more than if you wrote it on a bald eagle, Kevin Owens came out to the ring. Kevin Owens gets upset and says that he will, of course, win his championship back. He says this isn't about AJ, which of course prompts AJ Styles to just get out of the ring and start brawling with Kevin Owens. The brawl ensues. Shane McMahon comes in, referees abound, and they split them up. Coming back from the commercial break, we did find out that AJ Styles banned from ringside in the later match between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. Jinder Mahal takes on Sami Zayn in one-on-one action with, of course, the Sin Brothers, formerly known as the Bollywood Boys, at ringside. Very interesting back-and-forth, hard-hitting style match between these two. Definitely something of intrigue and interest. Both men getting great offense. Jinder hitting this very brutal running knee, almost looked like Sami Zayn was running into the knee. It was just beautifully executed. A lot of crazy back-and-forth, but then there was a DDT, which allowed Sami Zayn to go for what looked like the haluva kick, but of course, one of the Bollywood Boys, one of the Sin Brothers pulls Jinder Mahal out of the way in time. This allows the other Sin Brother to grab and distract Sami Zayn along for Jinder to sneak up behind, hit the Cobra Clutch, and then plant him with a down for the 1, 2, 3. Jinder, of course, looking stronger than ever on his way to the WWE Championship match against Randy Orton at Backlash. One thing I will say that I was not a particularly big fan of here in this particular SmackDown was the fact we didn't see any Randy Orton. We didn't see any WWE Championship. Now, it was referenced, obviously, multiple times between Jinder Mahal and, you know, the matchup and the build-up on commentary, but we didn't see or hear anything from Randy Orton whatsoever, the WWE Champion. And I felt like with such little time and so much effort that needs to be put into, you know, building up Jinder Mahal, we definitely need to see more of interaction between the two of them, in my opinion. I mean, granted, we saw it at Payback, but I think especially with, again, only so many weeks left until Backlash, the more the merrier for the WWE Champion. We do see a highlight package with Shinsuke and Nakamura, with Dolph Ziggler watching backstage, complaining about Shinsuke and Nakamura when Shane McMahon tries to intervene, kind of telling how important Shinsuke Nakamura is, with Ziggler just says, wait till you see what I do later tonight against Sin and Cara. Next up match, we had Aiden English going one-on-one against Ty Dillinger in a rematch from a couple weeks ago on SmackDown Live. I really do appreciate the old Aiden English gimmick of him singing. I really hope it takes him places. I'm kind of bummed that we're not going to see the Vaudevillains anymore on SmackDown, so I do hope that Aiden does get some sort of major role no pun intended, on SmackDown Live. Really nothing major here. We did see English getting some quick offense to start, but it doesn't take long for Ty Dillinger to come back. It's still amazing to see Ty Dillinger so over with the crowd on SmackDown. It's just great to see them doing the 10 count and everything. It's awesome. Of course, Ty coming right back, hits this like inverted finish where he basically has Aiden English on his shoulders and then turns him around and plants Aiden's forehead on Ty's knee and gets the pinfall victory for the 1, 2, 10. Okay, 3. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. But still, quick matchup, a little bit faster than expected, but still very entertaining and awesome to see. Ty Dillinger, absolutely. The women are on action as Naomi and Charlotte are set to battle Natalya and Carmella in tag team action. However, we see that Charlotte is attacked by Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina backstage before the matchup happens. This, of course, leaves Naomi struggling as she basically starts the matchup in a handicap match against Natalya and Carmella. But Naomi is able to hold her own. Amazing action between all of them. Naomi almost wiping the floor with both women. Ultimately, though, as it seemed Naomi needed that extra tag, that's when Charlotte did arrive. She was able to come back into the match, help with Naomi get the hot tag in, get in and clean house. However, it doesn't take long for Natalya and Carmella to turn the tides back on their favor as Charlotte then gets the hot tag into Naomi, being able to clear house as well. It hits the rear view on Carmella, but unfortunately distractions from both Natalya and Ellsworth. Amazing that Ellsworth is still with him, to get the sneak up a pinfall victory over Naomi. She tries to battle back, but unfortunately the numbers game too much as Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina, I'm going to get these names confused and just tongue-tied very easily, start to gain the numbers advantage on the two of them when Becky Lynch shows up and tries to, well, sees where her loyalty lies. They did mention to her earlier that they were on her side and trying to be, proactive and helping her and helping, the SmackDown women and the SmackDown women's division. Becky then looks like she's going to join the group, extending hands to all three women, but when she goes to Ellsworth, she then grabs Ellsworth and throws him into the women, and she starts brawling with all of them. The brawl ensues, but once again, the numbers game takes to his advantage, and the women, Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina with Ellsworth, I got it right this time, thank goodness, leave the ring with dominating fashion. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of this, and the only reason that, and I think I mentioned this, guys, on previous editions of the SmackDown Rebound, is because I'm not a fan of the fact that you had, such a small roster of women in this division, and I'm worried that the Women's Championship will be thrown to the back burner. I think the 3-on-3 aspect is going to be very refreshing in some regards, but I do worry that the SmackDown Women's Championship might take a back seat to the main focus of the women's division. That's just my only worry and concern. Anyway, Dolph Ziggler versus Sin Cara. Very quick matchup, but actually not as quick as I thought. This matchup actually had a lot more time devoted to this match than I initially expected, but still entertaining to watch. Sin Cara with a suicide dive through the middle ropes that I thought, honestly, was just flattening him like a pancake. I didn't think Dolph Ziggler was able to catch him. It looked pretty scary, but Ziggler coming back with a beautiful super kick, almost out of nowhere to get the win. Again, much longer matchup than I initially expected between these two. We do see a awesome vignette for the Fashion Files, a Law and Order kind of ripoff with the Breezango tag team. Gotta love those guys. I love how they just basically ran down the list of offenses from the Usos and talk about being the, I'm sorry, not the Usos, the Uggos at Backlash in Chicago, the Windy Apple. It was just good stuff. Main event between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for the United States Championship was indeed a brutal one. One that Kevin Owens had a lot more advantage of in this one. Even though Jericho was able to get not one but two walls of Jericho's locked in, Kevin Owens still managed to sneak his way out. He was able to get Jericho outside the ring, hit a super kick, and then land him on a DDT, enabling him to roll Jericho back and hit that pump-up powerbomb and become a two-time United States Champion. That's right, Kevin Owens, now your new WWE United States Champion. But it didn't end there. He attacked Jericho after the match, walked away, attacked Jericho another time, hitting another pump-up powerbomb, and just when we thought Jericho was finally going to be able to relax, nope, Kevin Owens decides to take from the school of Braun Strowman attackery, yeah, that's a word, and attack Chris Jericho another time, this time wrapping the steel chair around his throat and actually shoving him into the turnbuckle to close out the show, holding the coveted United States Championship. The show definitely was structured a lot differently than I was expecting it to be. The concern with me is that with Backlash only being so many weeks away, there's still a little bit of, well, catching up to do from the Payback pay-per-view. Kevin Owens now the new United States Championship. Now we can actually focus on the Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles saga, which I appreciate that they touched base on at the beginning of the show, but obviously the more focus was on Kevin Owens winning the championship. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the women's division as far as them segregating the 3-on-3. Again, I'm concerned that the women's division will be held in the back burner, but there still could be some interesting matches between the three, especially now that Charlotte's now a babyface. That could change the dynamic in some regards. I also didn't like the fact that we didn't see Randy Orton tonight on SmackDown. I thought that they needed to, again, put the forefront on the WWE Championship, but at the same time, I do love how the United States Championship definitely got a lot of mainstream focus attention on this week's SmackDown, so I truly appreciate that, if for nothing else. But of course, guys, love to hear your thoughts on this week's SmackDown as well, too. What did you guys like about it? What you didn't like about it? Love to hear your thoughts again, guys, down in that comment section. Make sure you follow myself and the entire OneWrestling.com family over on the social media. Again, myself at OKayFabe, at Big Ray Show, at Big Slam Nation, and of course, at After One Wrestling. Make sure you follow all of us. Again, all our links are down in the description box below. Thumbs up if you guys like these episodes of SmackDown Rebound. Of course, subscribe for more amazing content from all of us right here at OneWrestling.com. Thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate the love and support. And to quote the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches.